are back, and this has been an exciting day. I'm so sorry that Hannah got sick today and is unable to be your MC, but I am very grateful to have this opportunity, and of course, wish her well and hope that she's feeling better. Clifton, you can go ahead and cue up your slides while I introduce you. So our next speaker is CliftonWP. He's a web expert with over 2 decades of expertise in web design, development, and online marketing. He's the entrepreneurial force behind a highly successful web design agency and also serves as the chief educator on his YouTube channel, CliftonWP. There, he imparts useful knowledge in clear detail to a diverse community of both budding tech enthusiasts and seasoned professionals, teaching them how to build websites using WordPress, Kadence, and a variety of other tools. Clifton's keys to success are smiling, learning, teaching, patience, and kindness. One of Clifton's core philosophies is to treat people as they wish to be treated. His ultimate passion lies in empowering others to harness the web's potential, enabling them to achieve the success they desire in their own lives. Welcome, Clifton. It's so good to meet you.
Hey there, Michelle. How are you?
I am good. I don't make you sit there on screen while I read your introduction. That's always so weird, right? You just sit there and smile while other people talk about you. How are you today?
Yes, I am doing great. I'm excited to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and everyone. And, this is awesome.
Well, we are so grateful to have you here. Your talk is how to build and customize websites using Kadence Starter Templates. And I will tell you that I love Kadence Starter Templates. I love the fact that I can put something out there and then make it my own, but that I don't have to think of everything right from the top. So I'm excited to listen to your talk and to hear how you get started with Kadence Templates and how you can instruct the others to do so. So I'm going to remove myself. I'll bring your slides up, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, hello, everyone. And I am happy to share this with everyone. I don't have any slides. I actually have a workspace. So, we're going to get right to it. But I want to just say a few things first. Kadence has probably some of the best starter templates that are out there. But I personally actually typically build from scratch. But there have been many times where a starter template has come in and absolutely saved me and the team in the agency. And what I want to show here is just really how dynamic and how quickly you can take a Kadence starter template and completely make it your own or make it your client's own and have it look amazing. Okay, so I'm very excited to share this with all of you. Just a quick warning. I had to prepare some things ahead of time just in the interest of time so that because it still takes time to customize even if you're starting with a starter template. So I had to do some things earlier on. I'm also not going to be doing a lot of the content work portion. So I may be using some dummy content in the process as well. But I will make this as realistic to what we do at the agency as possible, or what I do when I'm working with the client. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay. So I'm going to be starting with a fresh install of WordPress. Okay. And we're just going to go right through the process. So first, go to the dashboard. I'm going to go to Appearance, Themes, and I'm going to click on Add New. Here's our Kadence theme right over here. This is the hero of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Install. All right, that's now installed. Now I also need one other thing. I need Kadence Blocks. So I'm going to come over here to Plugins, click on Add New, and let's do a search for Kadence Blocks. And here's our Kadence Blocks. Click on Install and activate. All right. Let's go back to let's just check out our stuff to make sure that, oh, okay. I know I'm missing something here. So in the themes, we actually have to activate the theme. So let's go ahead and activate Kadence Themes. Here we go. And now when I visit the website, I should see the default Kadence theme. Okay. Next, one thing that happens when you install the Kadence theme or Kadence blocks, you'll see this notification here to go ahead and install Kadence Starter Templates. If you're not seeing that, you can always go to plugins, add new, and do a search for Kadence Starter Templates. It's probably there. Okay, you can always do a search for Kadence Starter Templates, and it should show up. Oh, am I not doing that right? I did not spell that correctly. Kadence Starter Templates. All right, there it is. Okay, and then install it from here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click here to install it. Okay, and now we have our templates ready to go. Okay, so one thing you want to make sure of is just make sure that here that you have Gutenberg selected, because we're going to be using the amazing Kadence blocks to do this. And also in this tutorial, I'm going to be using, because if you notice here in these starter templates, a lot of beautiful starter templates here for almost every kind of niche, different kinds. But one thing that you'll notice is that there are pro versions, actually pro options, and then there are free options as well. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a free option so that anyone, no matter where you are with Kadence, whether you have Kadence Pro or the free version of it, you can follow along with this tutorial or do the same thing that I'm going to do here. Okay, now I do recommend diving into Kadence Pro. I'm a big time Kadence Pro fan. A lot of great benefits over there, but you don't need it to go ahead and customize a starter template. You can actually do it with a lot of the free amazing templates that they have. So what I like to do is I like to just come over here where it has the filter, and I'm going to select the free only. And here are all the templates that we can use. Okay. All of these are very nice. I will admit there are some of these templates that I look at and I shake my head and I'm like, wow, this is a free template to start with. So all these are amazing. But let's go ahead and pick one. And what I like to do is I like to pick one that has a lot of built out sections already. That way I have a lot of choices on what I want to use. It's always good to start off with a good plan, but you also want to have a good variety of choices. And a lot of these have that. This painting one, for instance, has a lot of good sections. Okay, we can see here the grid. There's a benefit section here, 2-column. Here's a services section. Okay, so all these are pretty useful to have, and then we can customize them to what we want them to be. All right, another really good one is this one right here, the cleaning one. This is also very nice. All of them are nice, but they all work very well. And as a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and use this one, okay? Because I think this would be the most drastic change. So let's use this one. When you select your starter template, I'm going to go back. Once you've selected the one you want, so let's say I selected this one, you have the option of being able to change the color scheme. So I can change this color scheme any way that I like to any of these. And you can also change the fonts as well. But we're going to leave it actually just the way that it is, because I want you to see how I do it from the beginning. And I'm just going to go ahead and install the full site. Now, we may not be able to build out the entire website in this period, in this time, but we'll build quite a bit of it, at least the home page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this portion here, and it'll start importing the starter template for me. This usually happens either really quickly, or sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but usually under a minute. Okay. Right. It's coming. Patience. All right, here we are. All right, we are almost there. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the site real quick. So this is it on the front end, and I can see a lot of great things already. We have this nice featured area. This is using a image on the right, and we have our text here on the left, some call to action buttons. We have some really good different variety of sections. And one of the things I like about the starter templates is if you're just getting started on web design or working with WordPress, Kadence is a fantastic place to start, because you can kind of see how people organize using the Gutenberg blocks to build out these different sections. And there's no right or wrong way. There's a lot of great ways to be able to do things. So some of you who are a little bit more advanced might look at some parts and say, I probably would have built that differently. Some of you who are getting started will say, hey, I am learning some new ways of doing things. Because I know I've always learned some new ways of setting up my sections by looking at how the starter templates already have them set up. But this is fantastic. What's really great about this template is we have an appointment section here. We have testimonials, everything that's valuable for a great website if you're building it for a small business. Okay, so now what I want to do, this is for a cleaning company. I want to do something completely far away from a cleaning company. So we're going to use this to build out. Let's do an accounting firm. Okay, so CPA or something like that. Something to do with finances. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is it's always good to have a little plan. So I have a little plan that I'm looking at, and it just has some words and some notes to myself. Okay, I've seen my notes. I'm ready to go. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to start from the color palette. I'm going to change the palette, and I also want to change the font. Okay, I want a more accounting financial type of font feel. Okay, so I'm going to go to the customizer, and you do that by going here to the admin toolbar. And we're going to look at colors and fonts. I'm going to go to colors, and I'm going to leave this default one in place and just go to the palette number 2. That's just in case I, mess this up so badly. I want to be able to go back to the original palette if I wanted to. So in this case, I'm going to select palette number 2, and then I'm going to open up this briefcase here, this little folder, and that's going to show me all the other palette options. Now I can create a custom one myself, but in interest of time, we're going to use one of these, and it's actually these are actually pretty good palettes as well. So I want something that's more warm. So we have a warm colored one here. You can see that's kind of changing the colors there. And if I want to get a little warmer, I'm going to pick this one here at the bottom. So I'm going to select that. And already you can see our site is already looking a little bit different. Okay. I'm happy with my colors. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pick my typography. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to typography. And we all have different fonts that we like, or different font pairings that we like. I'm going to pick one that I like. So I'm going to come over here to the system font, click here, and we're going to make this is going to be the base font. So all your text, or your body text and things like that will take on the base font. Your navigation is also going to take on the base font. So I want that to be, let's make that Mulish. Okay, it's a really nice, clean font. I'm going to select that. All right, so you should see that our fonts are a little bit changed here. That looks nice and neat. And then next, I'm going to pick a serif font for the headings. And a serif font are fonts that you recognize that have a little bit of a curl to them. They look more stylized than the sans serif fonts, which are more blocky. So I'm going to get away from that, from the blocky feel, and just open up my font here for the heading font family. Go ahead and open that up. And we're going to do a search for a good one is Playfair Display. This is a really nice one. Looks very official, something like a financial person would use. Okay, so I like this. Okay, this looks great. I'm going to go ahead and publish my changes. And we're almost there. Okay, so now the look and feel looks different. Now we're going to start getting into the actual changes to the website to start making it look more like what let's say our accounting client would like. First, we're going to add their logo. So let's go ahead and change this logo. I'm going to click on Customize. Go to Header in the Customizer. We're going to go to Logo. And I'm going to change the logo. And we'll upload a logo from some files that I have already prepared here. So we'll use me. Okay, I'm gonna skip the cropping, just have Kadence take care of that for me. And now our logo is in place, matching up with our palette already. Okay, let's go ahead and publish that. Next, I'm gonna start making some changes to how things are showing up. So I noticed that this particular starter template has rounded buttons, and I want square buttons or more softer round corners. So I'm going to start here, right? While I'm already in the header, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to change this button. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the button widget here. That's going to open it up for me here on the left. And instead of saying get a price, we will say, let's just say get started. Okay, so we'll say get started. And then the other thing that I want to do here is I want to change the design a little bit. So I'm going to go to design, and I can see here the border radius, there's 30 on the top, 30 on the bottom. I'm just going to zero all that out. And let's just make this, let's make it 6 all the way around. Okay. All right, that looks better to me. Okay, and the other thing that I may want to do to differentiate that from my menu is I also want to change, let's see here. I also want to change the, let me go to this button real quick. Okay, yeah, I want to change the font a little bit, and not the font, but the font style. So I want this to actually be caps, and to do that, you over here under the border radius, you're going to see the fonts, and I'm going to change that to be all caps. The reason I'm doing that is because I want it to stand out. I want the eyes of the user to get to there and see that there's some kind of change, deviation to something off, so they can engage with that. Okay, they can see that. And it's always good to have your colors for your calls to action be the same, so you can start training the visitor on what the calls to actions are. Okay, so far this looks good. I'm happy with it. Click publish. We're done with our header. Okay, next we need to change the featured area of the website. Okay, so this is using this looks like it's using a transparent header. So the header with the logo and the navigation is overlaid over the main featured area of the site. There's some text on the left, some text on an image on the right. We're going to completely change all that. Okay, so I'm going to click on edit image. This will allow me to, edit page. This will allow me to go ahead and start editing this home page. So I'm going to click on edit page. All right. And we're an accounting firm. So we're going to change this to all accounting stuff. I'm going to start with the text, and I already have some text prepared. So it's going to be a combination of dummy text and relevant text. So over here, I'm going to change this to powerful tax strategies for financial peace of mind. Okay. And I want to highlight what the user is coming here for. So I'm going to go ahead and select tax strategies. I'm going to click on the down arrow over here, and I'm going to use this highlight because that's going to allow me to use a color from my color palette. Okay. And I'm going to select this one. Okay. So powerful tax strategies. Next, this text is really big, so we're going to go ahead and reduce this a little bit. So I'm going to go over here to the right, and we're going to make this, let's make this 45 pixels. And then we're going to change our line height so that this is a little bit closer. I'm going to use, if I make it exactly 45 pixels, it'll be close together like that. But I typically like to add a little bit of spacing there. So let's make it 50 pixels. Awesome. We'll leave this here. We'll just pretend that this is saying something important. And then we have some text over here. So I can just change this to your tax challenges solved. Okay. Awesome. All right. Next, we have two buttons here. Our best offers, view our services. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to get started. Whoops. Okay, and I also want this to be all caps. So I'm going to go to styles, typography settings. So I'm here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to all cap that. Then the other thing is I want to get rid of this. I want to get rid of this rounding here with the buttons. So we're going to go hold it down. Let me find the border radius, which is right over here. I'm going to go ahead and unify that field, and everything's going to be at 6. And then I don't need this button here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Goodbye. All right. Next, we need to change this so that this doesn't look like a cleaning site anymore. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to select this. And as I select it, you can always see how this was built out. I can see that there's some rows in here. There's an image back there, and it's inside of a section. And if you ever want to see it in more detail, you can always open up the list view and you just select any of the items so that you can see where it is, and you'll see how this was built out. Okay, so I can see an image, row layout, and all that. And I'm not going to be using any of these items. So I'm going to go ahead and delete them. So I don't want that one. I don't want any of this. And I don't want that. Okay. And even that row, this is a ghost row over here. Let's go ahead and open up my row layout here. I do not want that. I just want the fresh row as it is. Okay, so now here we are with this section. So in this section, I'm going to go ahead and add my own image. So click on the plus sign. I'm going to use the Kadence image, and you can just search ADV to get the advanced image. And I'm going to select an image. One thing that's really cool too is once you install a starter template, you get all the assets with it as well in the media library. So that's pretty nice. All right, let's go ahead and select an image here that we can use. And I have one that will absolutely be perfect there. It's here. Hang on one second. All right. Let's go ahead and add that in. And then you know what I'm going to do to help us save some time? I'm going to go ahead and just upload all my images now. So let's just go ahead and grab everything. And some photos. We'll get everything now. All right, so this is the image we're using here. Some nice, rich brown tones in this image. Okay, let me close out the list view. So here we now have our image. And now I just want to do just a little bit of styling. So when I click on this section, I notice that there's some padding work happening here that came with the starter template. I'm going to go ahead and change all that. So I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to unify this and set everything to 0. Okay. So I want the full area to myself. All right. And then next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape this image up a little bit. So select the image, go to style, go to border radius, and we will start with the right. And let's do 40 pixels on the right. And then, so if you're doing border radius, this is top, right, bottom, left. So here on the left, I'm going to do another 40 pixels. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can play with that a little bit more, make it a little bit more dynamic. Let's go 60 and 60. Okay, so far this looks good. Click on update. Now, typically I want to use someone who's happy with the service or appears to be happy with the service. So I'm using this nice smiling business couple here. And if we were to view the site front end, let's take a look at how this looks so far. So far, this looks really good. And looking at this, I can see, okay, this is a little bit too close. This is also a little bit too close. I also would like to add some information down here as well. And I'll show you exactly how I do that. So let's go ahead and click on, let's go ahead and edit this page again. and let's fix this area. Okay, so what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to go ahead and make my featured area a little bit more dynamic. And then the rest of this will flow very easily. So I'm inside of, if we open this up, I'm inside of a row that has 2 sections. And when you're in this row, this parent row right here just contains these 2 sections. I want everything to kind of be contained inside of a larger row. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to add some additional benefits below this. Now, I could easily add it right below here, but I want it to be contained inside of this row. That way, I don't have to create a huge demarcation at the bottom here. And I explain what I'm talking about. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select this row, click on the ellipsis that shows up here, and I'll click on add before. I'm going to do a /, and we're going to type row. I'm going to say row layout, and I want one parent row. One thing that's really cool in Kadence now is I can go in here, and this parent row right here, I can go ahead and click on it. Excuse me, click here, rename it, and I'll call this parent row. That way I can find it very easily. Okay, save. So now I've got this parent row. Next, I want to give it some space. So here we have 130 pixels. I want this to be 200. So right now I'm using the drag to be able to expand this, but I want it to be even more. So I'm going to come over here, select advanced, and let's change this to custom. And here at the top, 200. Okay, perfect. And then here at the bottom, I want this to be 80 pixels. Okay. All right, nice. So now I've created this parent row. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this build out here inside of this row. Okay. To do that, it's very, very easy. You can just select this row, click on the ellipsis, click on copy, click on that parent row, select paragraph, do a Command V or Control V if you're using a PC. I'm using a Mac, and now I have that row in here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Then the next thing that I want to do here, now that I have this row in here, is I want everything to match up. So to make this match up, I'm going to go ahead and select the row again. Click on copy styles, select my outside row. Whoops. Select that row that you have on the inside, copy styles, and paste styles. Excellent. Then I can remove whatever is inside of here. So I'm going to select this row again, move over to the right, style, go to the background overlay settings and remove that background. Remove the background. Okay, excellent. So now I have my row contained inside of the other row. Now I just need to get rid of this padding that's in the internal row here. And you'll see the reason why I'm doing this in the first place. Okay. All right. So now I have my featured areas. I no longer need this one. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And I have my own now created featured area. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want to add some benefits right inside of this container. So I put the container inside of another container to be able to allow me to do that. So now I can go ahead and select this row, and I'm going to open up my parent row, select that row, and then add a block line afterwards, /. Let's close this out so everybody can see it. And I'm going to do a row layout, and let's do a 3-column row. Okay. I'm going to create some space, put a large space right there. Okay. And now I can add my benefit statements. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want this to look dramatically different from the actual site, from the actual starter template. So click on the plus sign, and we're going to go ahead and, whoops. click on the plus sign, and we want to add some advanced text. So if you type ADV, you'll see the Kadence text right over here. And don't worry about the sizing and everything for now. We're just going to put here, and let's put some benefits. So we'll say maximize tax savings. I'm going to go ahead and center this text. And then I can also add an icon to this. So I'm going to go to the right, icon settings, and let's select an icon. And I'm just going to use, let's say, money. Okay, money is always a good one. All right, and then I need this to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to change this from being an H2. And for now, we're just going to make this a div. And then here on the right, I'm going to increase the size to be 24. Perfect. Okay, so now I have my benefit statement. Let me go ahead and select this row. I'm going to go ahead and center everything in here. And now I will just change this color to a highlight color, like brown, like that. That's not a highlight color, but to a browner color. And then I can now duplicate this 2 times and then move it over to the sections. Okay, so maximize savings. Let's add some different stuff in here. We'll enjoy some financial peace. And powerful tax planning. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's create some more difference between the two. So let's select the row again. And for this row, I'm going to go ahead and add a margin. Let's just add about that much. Excel is good. Select the row, click on the style, go to border settings, select the border, and let's add some median text color. I'm going to separate everything, and I only want a border at the top. So I'm going to make one pixel border at the top, and then I'm going to click on this line. That'll help me change the border style. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make this dashed. Okay, let's make it more prominent. How about 2 pixels? All right, now I can reduce this a little bit. And I come here, reduce that all the way down. Awesome. Okay, click on update. Take a look at what our page is looking like. All right, good. So now I can now comfortably go ahead and create some more space here. So click on edit page. We're at 130. Let's get this to 200. Let's go 210. All right. So now we're looking really good. Okay, so now we can now move through the rest. Once you've got the featured hero area change, website's pretty much ready. Now you can just go ahead and add the rest of your content. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on edit page. And typically when we're building out something like this, we're following a bunch of different frameworks, but we'll just use a very common framework, which is where you relate to the ideal client that you're talking to. So in this case, we'll call this the We Get It section. So we'll say we get it as accountants. And here we want to just highlight a few challenges. So I'm going to go ahead and say, are you tired of, and I'm not going to need this row here. So let's delete that row. So are you tired of I like this, so I'm going to keep this here, and I don't need to go ahead and start making changes here. I can just go ahead and click on a button I've created before, click on the copy styles, click on the button again, and paste those styles in here. Okay, and now I select this section here. We have a margin on the left that I don't. We can reduce that. Okay. Over here, I'm going to put a list. So let's just get rid of this text. Okay. And we're going to do a list. Icon list. And we'll say tax challenge number 1. Okay. So you basically list the tax challenges that your clients may have in this case. And we can go ahead and duplicate this a few times. Let's do 6 of them, or 5, or 6. Okay, one too many. Okay, so that looks good. Next, I want to change this icon here. So if you select the list, okay, there is a parent block settings for the list. When you click on the list here, you're selecting the actual list, but there's also a parent block here. If you open up the parent block, it'll allow you to be able to change the icon for all of them, which is what I want to do. So I want to open this up. I'm going to select a checkbox, and I want a solid checkbox, and then I want the color to be my highlight color. All right. And that section is done. Now over here, we need to change this image. So just go ahead and let's replace this with someone that looks worried. She looks worried. So let's use that. Perfect. And then this, I really like this here. And that's the other thing. If you see elements that you like, just go ahead and keep them. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and remove it. But I really like this here. So you can just leave that there if you want, or you can change what it says. So you can change this to say $100 million in taxes saved, or whatever you want to use. We'll just leave this as is for now. Okay, that looks great. Next, we have over here the why I would use this for, I like to have a section where it says why choose us. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm looking at this section, I can see a list here. So this would be a great place to list a list of reasons why people should use your service. So let's just change this to why choose us. Let's change this image here. We probably don't have to do much. We just need to change the image itself. So I'm going to select the section here, go over here to style, click on edit image, and I'm going to select something that looks nice. So here's some people shaking hands. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay, here we are. That looks good. And then you can make this say something that makes sense. Why choose us? Get peace of mind with the tax services we provide, and remove the cleaning tax. You get the idea. You just put in your own information. Same thing here. I'm only making the changes because I can't resist. Feels incongruent when it's talking about cleaning, but you kind of get the idea. You want to change this to your own text or whatever your copywriter has created for you. Let's change that. Yeah, and sometimes using a template is a very, very smart move. It's nothing wrong with using a template. Saves you a bunch of time. It has no it's not a mark against your skills as a designer or a developer or anything like that. It's actually a very smart business move. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the styles for our button and just apply that style. It's just a nice time-saving strategy to do that. Okay, 3 sections done on the home page. So when we come over here, sometimes there may be sections that you don't like or you don't want to use. And looking at this, I see a lot of them that I like to keep. So let's go ahead and create one more section here. Um, sorry, my eye caught something. I spy. Row layout. Advanced. Aha. I saw some errant padding. So let's go ahead and zero that out. Yeah, because I want the full space. I want everything. And section. Advanced. Okay, good. Great. All right. So I still see it there, but I won't let it bother me. Sorry, I'm just making some corrections. And just making sure. Okay, great. So now scroll down here. So I want to have a spot for my services to showcase the way we do services here. So I'm looking at this row right here, and I really like this portion, but I don't like this portion. I don't want to use this. Not that I don't like it. I just don't want to use it. Okay, so I really like this portion a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to recreate a row that I like, and I'm going to use the elements in here to build out my portion. So I'm going to select this row, click on the ellipsis, click on add before, do a /, and add my own row layout. This is going to be a 2-column row. And from within here, I'm going to make it use the theme content inner width like that. And I'm going to give this, let's do a 4x large on the top, 4x large on the bottom. And then what I want is I want this information in here. So I'm going to select this, this, and this. Or actually what you can do is you can select the text, hold down the shift key, select the last item there, and to select them all, turn them into a group, click on the ellipsis, copy those blocks, go to the plus sign, select the paragraph, and then do a Command V, and that'll paste that in there for you, okay? And that's pretty much all I want from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this row here and delete it. Don't need it anymore. Okay, and what I wanna do here is I wanna use this as my services sections. So how we help you, and let's say our tax services. Okay. Okay, so our tax services. And then this could be some information about your tax services. We obviously don't want this duster here, so let's change this to one of our images. Here's somebody that looks like a business owner that's happy. Okay. And let's use our same theme, our peace of mind tax services. Okay, and then here I want to actually outline the tax services that we have. And a great tool to use to showcase your services sometimes. And I know there's different ways of laying out services, but this is one of the ways that I like to do it. Just click on the plus sign here, do a search for an info box, and you'll see the Kadence info box. Okay, this is a very, very versatile block. Absolutely love this block. I'm gonna go ahead and select the block, and I'm gonna start configuring here on the right-hand side. So I'm gonna move over here to the right. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to select the style, and I want to go to media settings, and I want the icon to be on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click on media align it to the left. The vertical align will be at the top. I'm going to go back to the general settings here and set the content alignment here to all move flush to the left. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to style, and instead of the media settings this time, I'm now going to deal with the title settings. And under the title settings, I kind of like this to be a little bit smaller. Let's go with 24 pixels. Okay. And I'm also going to change my media settings, the icon size. Let's make that 24 as well. Okay. And now I believe this is ready. Okay. So now what I want to do is actually let's change the icon color to our highlight color as well. Now, what I want to do here is now start putting my services. So let's say, we'll say tax preparation and filing. It's an example. All right, that font is very beautiful. And I'm going to click on the, click here. And what I want to do is I want to create some space between this and the next service. So I'm going to select this, go to margin on the bottom, and increase my margins here. All right, and I'm coming up on time, but I'm going to keep moving here, and just let me know at any time if you want me to stop, but I'll keep moving. Here, we're going to duplicate this, duplicate it again, and one more time. Let's say we offer 4 services. Over here, we're going to say accounting and bookkeeping. That looks good. And then over here, let's say we do, what's another good one? Oh, we can say tax saving strategy sessions. And last one can be advisory and consultations or consulting. All right, we're in business. That looks great. Okay, so now for the rest of this is all entirely optional. If you want to tell people how to get started with your services, we can go ahead and keep this and just go ahead and change out the images. So we can say book online, or call us could be another one. Book online form. You could say explore strategies, sleep well at night. Okay, and we can then change this into anything that we want. So, something about booking a form. Just stay away from the cleaning stuff. Let's use this and replace some nice people here. Here's another person, and let's use this one, and we'll put somebody that's smiling. Here's a nice smiley person. Okay. All right. And so here, this could be your, how to get started. How to get started section. All right, and we're done there. And then I love this section right here because it has a call to action that's set against this really nice layout of pictures. So I'm going to select each picture and we're going to change each one. So open the media library and let's just pick some pictures and pretend that we're using different pictures. Okay, so here we go. And you see how easy it is? You just change the photos. Keep the layout. If it's a nice layout, no sense in changing it. And then you also saw how whenever a layout wasn't working for me, just created another one. You see how easy it is to create with the Kadence blocks. And when I tell you Kadence has revolutionized building out sites with Gutenberg, that is not an understatement. All right, so this looks good so far. I'm not gonna need this portion. Even though I like this, it would be nice to show some pricing for our packages. So if you decide to keep this, that's fine. Just make sure you change out the content here. And then over here, where it says who we are, you can either choose to move this to your about page. I always like to have something about the owners or the people that you're going to be working with on the site somewhere. So we would leave this in place. We would leave this for pricing for our services. And then here's some testimonials. And then we get to the make an appointment. And it's almost like this starter template was built for an accountant instead of a cleaning company, right? And if you want to make some, design changes here, like for instance, I noticed there's a blue color here for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So let's just make this brown. And then this is white, good, brown, good. And then you can just change this background to something more business owner focused. Edit image. And let's use these guys. All right. Let's take a look at what the final product looks like. Here we go. All right. So we have our logo. Our layouts are here. We have a nice, beautiful section, featured area section, addressing the business owner and their challenges, showing them why they should choose us. Peace of mind services. Our services listed out over here. How to get started with us. Some pictures of happy business owners and a call to action. Our packages, if you want, I think this should be optional, but if you want to have that, that's great. And then here, I would show my business owner over here, or the accountants or the CPA of their team, and testimonials, what our clients say, and the ability to go ahead and book an appointment. We can also add our logo right there. If you want to add your logo into the footer, go to customize footer. And let me see how they did this here. So this is a widget. So let's get out of here, go to widgets. And what we're looking for is footer 1. And there's an errant image here. So let's go ahead and first we're going to change this to the Kadence version. And then we're going to replace that with our own logo. That looks better. And let's see if that makes it a big giant image on there. Made it a big giant image. So go back, widgets. This is so much fun. Okay. I'm going to go 180. I may just use this layout. Okay, this is great. Okay. There we go. We got through the homepage. I think my time is running out, so otherwise we could do this all day. So
I'm
you see
gonna
how
have
much
to
fun I
stop you
enjoy
from the
doing
all
this.
day. Yeah,
I could do this
I
all
mean,
day.
I could watch you do it all day, quite honestly. But we do have other speakers coming up, so
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome, and it was fun to watch. And we only have like one question and then a couple of comments, so let me bring those up. Gary Driscoll says, "Thank you, Clifton. Are there any other plugins that you use and recommend?"
Oh yeah. Wow, that's a good question. There are a lot of great plugins. So it really depends on what you're doing. But some of the plugins that I use a lot, I use all-in-one WP migration is a plugin that
Mhm.
I use. Up until the most recent release of the Kadence Advanced Forms, I also still use in some cases Gravity Forms for more extended form use, but I'm finding that the advanced Kadence Forms is doing a lot for me already. So we're sticking with that for as many of our projects as we can, unless we need to do something else. Other plugins that I like to use, depending on the site, I may use a booking plugin if there's a little bit more um, need for that. I also use the events calendar. If I'm building a learning management system site, I'll use LearnDash. So yeah, there's a plethora of plugins that I use. Great question.
Excellent. Then we have a couple of comments. One is that you are the cadence customizing king,
Thank
which
you.
I
Thank you,
love that. I mean,
Brenda.
hey, if you're gonna have a title, that's a good one to have, right?
I'll take it.
Um, Rashida says this is fantastic, extremely helpful. So that was a really nice compliment as well. And
Thank you,
then
Rashid.
Carmelo said, "Wonderful, getting so much value from this." So
Happy to hear it.
fantastic. If people want to follow you, where do they find you?
Find me on my YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and search CliftonWP, CliftonWP, you'll find my videos on there. I tend to make long form detailed videos. So if you like detail, then my channel is really where you want to go. And I focus a lot on cadence, and I'm working on a big batch of videos that I'm getting ready to release right now, all about cadence, and even cadence and some other great plugins that are out there that make a great combo. So I'm really excited about releasing these. I've been working on them for about the last 4 months. So it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. which kind of
Also, my
actually
email's
answers the
on there
second.
if you need to reach out to me. It's Clifton at CliftonWP.com. Yeah.
Perfect. And then that you kind of already answered this, although there is the comment that you have a great smile, which was
Thank
part
you.
of your bio. So that's a wonderful thing. They loved your YouTube videos on Cadence. And are you planning to do a paid Cadence course?
Well, yes. So I'm gonna do I'm actually gonna do a free course first. It's gonna be pretty detailed, and then I'm gonna have a paid one that's gonna have some more advanced um, portions to it, because we actually use Cadence in my business, and there's a business case for Cadence that's absolutely mind blowing. We've used it. It's absolutely great. I'd love to teach other people how to be able to do that, and that'd be a paid course.
Fantastic. So, well, thank you so much for sharing some time with us today. If people are interested in following us, I'm going to add a couple banners here real quick. You can go to cadencewp.com/newsletter-subscribe. You know that, right, Clifton? Our newsletter is pretty awesome, full of really
Yes.
good stuff. You can follow us on Twitter/X over at CadenceWP and by the same handle over on Instagram. Thank you for being with us. We are going to be back in about 4 minutes at the top of the hour with Katie Boykin. Thank you Boykin. Sorry, I mispronounced your name, Katie. But thank you so much, Clifton, for spending some time with us today. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day.